Hi guys, you're highly welcome back to Eminence Stitches channel. Today we're sharing a tutorial on how to make bustier top. The first thing I'll be doing now, I'll be cutting out my blouse length out of my fabric. Zip allowance. Then I'll be marking my vertical measurements. I left 5 inches above because I'm making an off-shoulder top. Then I'll be marking my bust points, my armhole here, then my under bust, my under length. Here is my blouse length, so I added 2 inches to it. Here I will first insert my shoulder measurements. I will insert my shoulder measurements here, but because I'm cutting an off shoulder top, I will minus 1.5 from my shoulder measurements. So now my shoulder is 7.5. That is 15 divided by 2. Give me 7.5 minus 1.5 minus 1.5. So here now I'm having 6 inches here. That is my shoulder measurements. So on my bust point, I'll be inserting 1/4 of my bust circumference measurements, which I'm marking here. That's 38 divided by 4. Then I'll be adding 2.5 inches for sewing allowance. Then here on the under bust, my under bust measurement is 30. My under bust measurement is 32 divided by 4 to give me 8 inches. 8 inches plus 2.5. So here on my half length, I'll be inserting 1/4 of my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 34 inches here. Then on my blouse length, here is my blouse length. I'll be marking 1/4 of my hip measurements. My hip circumference measurement divided by 4 will give me 10 inches plus 2.5 inches as well for sewing and out. Then I'll connect all the points together. I'll be coming up by 1 inch. So I'll just connect it like this towards the zip allowance line. That is it. So the reason why I made this one, I did this, is because I wouldn't like the down of my blouse to be straight. Then for this upper part, here is my bust point. Then the same measurement is going to be on the armhole, on my chest line, to indicate my arm. Then I will be connecting this place, my shoulder, to my armhole line. Let me use my cuff. So the next thing now is to cut out the back panel. Hope you understand. This is our shoulder line. Our shoulder minus 1.5 inches. Then you could minus 2 inches as well, but 1.5 is okay for me. Then here, my chest line, that's my shoulder to my arm line. Then shoulder to my bust point, this is my under bust, and this is my waist line, and this is my blouse length, and I added 2 inches for the sewing allowance. Then the next thing I'll be cutting, work on the neck area, using 1.5 inches for my neck depth. 1.5 is okay. 1.5 inch is okay. Then I'll be using 5 for my neck width. Then I'll connect it hammer to this place, to start from this place now. That is all. Then the next thing, I'll cut out the neck. So for the back panel, here is my bust point. This is my, let me extend this line so we can see it. This is my bust point. So here now, my 4 inches for nipple to nipple measurements. Here is it. That's for my that. Then this is my nipple point under bust. Then this is my waistline. I also need my waist line. So on my waistline now, I'll be taking half inches like this, half at the both side. Then I'll connect it like this to the down part. Gently slant your hands towards the hemline of your blouse. The same thing applicable to the other side. Good. Then this is the bust point. I'll be coming down by 1 inch. 1 inch is okay. I'll be coming down by 1 inch. Then I'll also connect it to that waistline. So now I'm connecting to my waistline. Slant my hands towards the waistline mark. This is the back dart. Then the same place, the same thing must reflect at the back. Connecting it, I mean, sorry. I'll be connecting it. Then same thing applicable to this side. You connect it. Fold, my fabric is already on fold for the front part. Then I've marked 4 inches downward to the hemi part of the blouse. That is for my nipple to nipple measurements. Mine is actually 7 inches, so plus half inch because I'm drafting it on my fabric. That is the reason I had half inch to hit for sewing allowance. So now the next thing, I'll be inserting my measurements. We left 5 inches above. Then here is my armhole, then my bust point, my under bust, my waist, blouse leg. I'll start from this shoulder point. What I'll be doing here now, I'll be marking my my 1 inch at the both side to cut my bustier. First mark my 1 inch at the both side. Then my under bust, I'll be taking 1 inch at the both side as well for my dart legs. Then here standard measurement, you understand? If you are making for somebody that he has a very big boob, you can do 1.5, 1/4 or 1.2. You understand? Depends on the stature you are working with. But for this tutorial, 1 inch is okay. So now on my waistline, I'll be marking I'll be using 3/4. Let me use 3/4 for this side. For this one, 3/4 is okay. Then at the down part of my blouse, this is the hemline. that I'll be taking half for my dart legs. For my dart leg, half is okay at both sides. Then the next thing I'll be connecting those points. Connecting from my bust point to my under bust. This is my under bust. My under bust to my waistline. From the waistline to the hemline of my blouse. Hope we can see. So from here to the nipple point, from nipple point to the under bust, then under bust to the waist, from waist to the hemline of my smile. Now I'll be connecting the other side as well. This other side, connect it. So like we did for the first one, from nipple point to under bust. From this our shoulder line, we are going to start from this place. Hope you can see. We are going to start from this place. From here now, our back is, the back measurement we are using is 6. You know, I told us that we are going to remove 1 inch from our 6. We have 3 here. So we are adding 3 back from this side. Understand? Or to make it easy, since we know that it's 6 that we need, here we have 3. Just place, hope you can see. Here we have 3. You place your tape measure like this. You understand? No, my 3 ends at the first leg of my dart here. Then you put that 3 at the second leg of your dart like this. Then you can easily mark your seat. You see? That one would be better. Then for my bust, we are inserting my bust measurement here. So my bust circumference measurement is 38. That is 9.5. So here I have 4.5 on the first dart of my the first leg of my dart here. Then we are not going to place that 3.5 here. You see how I shift it, very easy. Then you mark your 9.5 inches here. Then sewing allowance 2.5 inches is okay. That's for the chest line. Then for the bust point, we are not taking anything. We are not taking anything out of this, so it's complete. What I'll just mark my 9.5 inches plus 2.5 for sewing allowance. Then my under bust is 32. So here now I have 3. I'll just place this on the second leg of my dart here. Just place it like this. Then measure my 32. It will be 8 inches. Here I'll be marking my 8 inches plus 2.5 inches for sewing allowance. Hope we are getting it. So here now, my waist is 34. So I have 3.25 here. So I will just place it on the second leg of the dart like this. Then I'll be marking my 34, which is my 34 divided by 4. It will give me 8.5 inches, then plus sewing allowance. The same thing applicable to the hemming line. I'm inserting 1/4 of my hip measurement as well. So here now we have this, just place your tape measure. I'm doing this to avoid unnecessary calculation that may even lead to confusion at the end of the day. So it's better you do it like this. So this is plus 2 inches. So here now I'll be coming up by 1 inch. That is the edge of my blouse. From my waist now, I'll be connecting it to the the hemming line of my skirt. Then 1 inch I marked here, I'll just cuff my hand towards the zip, toward the center front, like this. From here now, I'll be connecting this one to my armhole. That's my arm. So now, before cutting it out, before cutting the blouse, we are going to cut the neck. This neck, the neck that we use for the back, the neck width is 4.5 inches. So we know what we have here before the first leg of our dart is 3 inches. So I'll mark 3 inches here. So now I'll now place that 3 inches on the second leg of my dart here. Then I'll mark 1.5 inch here. That's for the neck. Then I will now connect this one. I will now connect this one to my armhole. Then here, we left 5 inches above, so I'll be marking my 1.5 inches. That will make it 6.5 inches. Then from this place, I will just mark my neck like this. I will come like this. And if you know that you can't do your own like this, you can also cut it when you join it finish. You can cut out your neck when you join this finish. But for this tutorial, it's very good to make it clear like this, and it's even preferable to cut it once and for all. So now I'll be cutting out the neck. Then we are going to cut out our darts. So I'll first cut this side leg. Must be carefully cut this side because it must not be that sharp. Just cuff your hand so that it will not be too sharp. This is the front panel. It will be. So by the time we join it, this place will come together like this, and this one will come together like fabric. As you can see, my fabric is already unfold. This unfold. Then I will now fold this side over again to form a diagonal form. This is a diagonal form. Here is it. So now from this up here, this point part, I will just place my tape measure and mark it round as if I want to cut circle. So the down part of my flare will give me circle shape. So I have 19 3/4 there. I'll mark everything that is there because I want a bogus sleeve. Since my blouse is going to be fitted blouse, so it will look very beautiful on it. So I'm done with that. Then you look for a place you can indicate 7 to 8 inches. Then this is not a standard measurement. It depends on the person you are making dress for. If you are making for a client that is, but for this I'll be using 7 to 8 inches. Let me first mark the length that I need. I need 7 inches plus 2 inches for sewing allowance. So here is the 9 that I need. So on this 9, let me check maybe, okay, I have 8 inches here. That 8 inches is okay. So I'll be placing my ruler and mark it. There is it. Then the next thing I'll be doing now, I'll just cut out this place. I'll cut out and I'll cut the down parts. That is my sleeve. Now I'm done with the cutting of this. Then you now place the body. This is the back body. You just place the hammer on this one to indicate hammer on your sleeve. Just place it like this. Just place it like this. I will not mark the sewing allowance with it. Is here. Then I'll just mark it up and trim it off like that. So here is going to be the hammer. Now I'm done with the cutting of my lining and I want to show us how to stitch it. These are my linings. This is it. This is the 3 parts for the front panel. It's one for this side, one for the middle, and then one for the other side. These are the lining. Then the next thing now, I want to show us how to stitch it. To stitch it, you just place the right side of this side on the right place of the middle side. Just place it like this. You understand? Then you stitch it down towards the hemming line. That is all about that. When you're done with that, then you put the second one as well. Then you start your stitch here from the neck towards the hemming line as well. That's all for that. Then you do the same thing to your lining. Then these are my wording for the 2 sides. As you can see, I've pinned this one with the center middle for the front. So for the back, this is the back. I'll be stitching my lining, then also stitch my darts. Then before doing that, please, before I forget, let me remind us, here we are going to cut out 1 inch out of our lining. Our lining must be 1 inch shorter to our fabric. So what I'll be doing now, let me show us how to do that. This is same length. So what I'll be doing, I'll just mark 1 inch, then my fabric now is 1 inch longer than the lining. That is how it's supposed to be. So you will have the space to fold it in. So you have to use the lining to pull it inside. That is so. Then for the sleeve, before bringing it back, I have to create my elastic passage here. Understand? I will stitch that, then I'll bring it back for us to see. So let's get on machine. Here is the front panel of my bustier top. Here is it. This is it. I've stitched in my lining quarter at the edge like this. Same thing to the other side. To stitch, I use 1/4 of an inch to stitch in the lining and the fabric, just to close the rough edge. Then also for the sleeve, then I've created the elastic passage. Here is it. I have created it. So the next thing I will just use safety pin. You might not have small one like mine. Just use safety pin to secure the edge of your elastic. Then you just pass it across like this. So just like this, you understand? Just like this one. So it will give you something like this. So when you are done with this other side, then you cut off the remaining part of your, just something like this. I've done this one. This is the second sleeve. So the next thing now will be stitching the both panel, the front panel and the back panels together. So here is this is front panel. I will just place the right side of one side of the back panel like this. Just place it like this. Then you place the other side like this. Then you take your measurements, your circumference measurements. Whatever that remains from the both sides will be divided by 2. Then you stitch half here, then you stitch half of it here. That is how you take all your circumference measurements. That is all about that. So I'll be stitch that side, then I will insert my sleeve. So now this is my blouse. I've stitched the both sides together. Let me show us how I stitch it. This is my zip. I put my zipper. Then this is the side. How I stitch my sleeve with the body. See, this is my hammer. You understand? This is my hammer. Then this is the sleeve arm as well. You just turn it to the right side. Then you place the right side of your sleeve onto the right side of your blouse body like this. You understand? Let me secure this with pin. I want to show us how I made the second one. Then you stitch it down. As you can see, it's equal. See, it's accurate. This is the place I stitch here, and this is the stitch line of the body. So make sure the two matches with each other. Then I've placed it. Then you now turn this one, the other side. You must match with the neckline as well from this place. Then you run. Let me secure this place. Then you will now run stitch like this round the hammer. You understand? That is how I stitch this one. Then by doing so, our blouse is ready. Here is our blouse, very beautiful. As you can see, this is the outcome of our blouse, our bustier top. This is it. This is the back. And this is the side. As you can see, here is it. Very beautiful and lovely. Now, as in, thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much. God bless you. And don't forget to put on the notification bell and also subscribe to support the channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.